System breach initiated.
Let's finish them here.
With the green force coming! Wait there! I'm ready to follow you! Let's split it up! I got it! No!
What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there, being as safe as you guys need to be. So, Season 10's here, and we have one new perk, Sledgehammer. We have Perfect Sledgehammer. We have two brand new named items with Sledgehammer. Is it any good? We're going to find out. Alright, agents. So, I've actually made this video a few times now because there are some pretty cool mechanics we can get to work this out, and I guess the ultimate question is, can we make a Grenadier build that is legendary viable? Let's find out. Alright, agents, so the first thing we have to do is talk about the specializations. Usually it's because of a bunch of the perks we get. This time it's because of the different grenades we have access to. Now, because we're going to be using Acosta's Go Bag and the Mad Bomber perk, we're talking specifically about grenades that inflict damage, status effects, and ultimately can kill an enemy. So we are not going to be discussing the Riot Foam, the Flash Bang, nor the EMP grenade. So everybody has access to the Concussive Grenade. In fact, if you ever run out of grenades, just go into your grenades, switch it on over. This is a basic explosive grenade. And in every variation of this build, you're going to be using one piece of China Light, so you'll have 15% explosive damage. That's a multiplier. That's great. So Concussive Grenades will work great for you, but we're never going to use them unless we have to. So the next option we have, if we go with Firewall, is we have the Cluster Grenade. So this tosses out one grenade, then splits into 5 or 6 separate grenades that each do a good amount of damage. Each one of these grenades seems to be about a third of the damage of a standard grenade. However, they can overlap. I do not recommend charging up, what do they call it, cooking the grenade. The cluster grenades will go all over the place, and it's pretty much ineffective then. Now, the two grenades that I would recommend using, if you go with Demolitionist, you can get the Fragmentation Grenade. This grenade will cause bleed. This can be buffed through status effects or something like Perpetuation. And my primary, and there's a myriad of reasons. When we start stacking up all the way the different physics work, you're really going to want to go with Survivalist for the Incendiary Grenade. It has a lot of benefits. Even though the damage is just slightly more than the Bleed Grenade, its benefits and its usage and its application far outweighs what you can get from the Fragmentation Grenade. Alright, let's talk about weapons. So, of course, you guys can use whatever you want. You can use the Capacitor because it's a skill build. You put out some weapon damage. But what we're really talking about, right, is the new Sledgehammer perk, and specifically the Perfect Sledgehammer, which gives us 40% weapon damage to a target marked by a grenade, and that hinders their movement speed by 30%. So this is a pretty big buff. You can get this either in the form of the Lefty Shotgun or the SOCOM M1A named rifle, whichever you like better. I prefer the shotgun because this gives us a little bit of extra damage to armor, and this can help to buff our actual overall damage. So I'm going with the Lefty, but of course, if you're going to be shooting a lot more and you like it, feel free to use the Stage Left. So since this is really going to get us the most bang for the buck because it's the only perk built around grenades that we have for weapons, what can you pair that with? Well, a lot of people would probably pair it with the blue screen exotic LMG we just got last season, because this marks up stacks and then can disrupt the enemy. It can hold them in place while you toss a grenade. That would work great. However, with the testing, when it comes to the status effects, we're going to want to choose something different. But we're going to split this up now into two different versions of the build. One is for explosive build only, and then the second one and the more powerful version is the status effect version. So the explosive version is very easy. You guys have probably seen this in the past, anybody who's familiar with my Mad Bomber builds from the recent past. So where we're going with the one piece of China Light, we're going to go with 2 pieces of Grupo Sombra, we're going to go with 2 pieces of Wyvern, and the Acosta's Go Bag. This will net us that 30% explosive damage, which is a multiplier, and that will also net us the skill damage and the status effects from the Wyvern piece. It will give us all the benefits of the Acosta Go Bag, the extra grenades, the med kits, the status effect, the skill damage, and it will also give us that free grenade. So really quick, let's talk about it. So Acosta's gives us a bunch of things, but it gives us an overcharge. Once every 60 seconds, you could throw a grenade. It'll give us an overcharge for 15 seconds. Once that's done, then the 1 minute cooldown starts. So it's not 15 seconds of cooldown every minute. It's 15 seconds of overcharge every minute, 15 seconds. The thing is, when this overcharge goes off, that grenade is for free. We're going to be combining this with the Mad Bomber chest piece. This will give us an enlarged radius. This will greatly increase the effectiveness of any grenade you use. Also, any grenade that we get a kill with, that will refund their grenade. You also get a little bit of armor while you're throwing your grenade, and on top of it, you can cook your grenades, which will make them go off a little bit faster. One thing to note about the Mad Bomber and the status effect build, I'll just throw this in real quick. If the enemy dies from a status effect from your grenade, that counts as a grenade kill. You can get multiple grenades back from one grenade thrown. And in the case of Acosta's in the overcharge, you could throw a grenade that's immediately refunded, and it could kill multiple enemies, and you could end up getting free grenades back when you didn't even spend a grenade. So there's a lot of utility, and this is why I say you should never have to use the concussive grenades, is because you should always have your grenades back. Even in Legendary, I think you will be able to have grenades available almost all the time. So this really leads into the last little bit. So what is the actual build we want to use? Well, that's the status effect variation. We're going to go with 1 piece of China Light, so this will give us that 15% explosive damage. It is a grenade build. We do want a little bit of explosive damage. God forbid you have to use concussive grenades. You got that on there. So we're only going to add 1 piece of Wyvern. This is for a little bit of skill damage. And this is because I had the piece with status effects. But what we're aiming for is to run the 3 pieces of Empress International. We don't care much about the skill health, but the skill damage is great. But that skill efficiency will add to our duration, our skill damage, our status effects, our cooldown, and anything else associated with the skill efficiency. So 3 pieces of Empress International, 1 piece of China Light, 1 Wyvern, and the Acostas. And what this will do is this will elongate the amount of time that we can apply our status effects to the enemies. And now, when we combine that with the Sledgehammer perk, that means we're doing 40% additional damage. So this is where I specifically want to talk about the Incendiary Grenade and Perpetuation. And this is where I think you should always combine Perfect Sledgehammer perk with a weapon that has Perpetuation. And how you maximize your damage, you guys will see this at the end here, is we're going to go ahead, proc Perpetuation. You will then throw a grenade. As soon as the grenade lands and the status effect is spread, you will immediately switch over to the Perfect Sledgehammer. Because Perpetuation is already procced, they already have that 50% bonus damage and the 50% duration. Now you swap over to the Sledgehammer. This adds another 40% damage on top of that, as well as slowing the enemy 30%, so it takes longer for them to get out of the fire. They have a chance to have their original burn duration expire and catch on fire a second time. And this is why we want the Incendiary over the Fragmentation Grenade, because you create a fireball on the ground that any enemies who weren't in the initial blast that move into it also catch fire. So you have area denial through the use of your Incendiary Grenades. So it's a lot of work and a lot of prep to be able to proc it. And if you really want to get impractical, you know, if you proc Perpetuation ahead of time and you walk around and you don't swap weapons, you can walk around pretty much ad infinitum, waiting to toss that grenade and then switch to the Sledgehammer. So you can pre-proc essentially your Perpetuation and be ready to take on the next group of enemies. So really what this comes down to is this build viable? Yes, I think you could use this in a legendary group. The thing is, it's going to get outshined by a lot of things, but you can work for area denial. It's more of a gimmicky build. I think almost any sort of other build that's meant to do damage is going to absolutely out-damage this. But, you know, it's a different build. It's just different. So if you want to try something that's, you know, away from the standard path, something that's non-meta, you know, you may want to give this a shot. It's just, there's so many easier ways to play the game. This is a high micromanagement of everything going on to get this to work. And also, if you want to have the maximum effect, you also have to give up on any form of healing, or there's a lot of things you have to give up. Well, you know what? I don't know. You guys, any of you guys who give this a shot, let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys see a way of getting the same results, but adding survivability, adding damage, what can be done with this build to make it more user-friendly in endgame content? You know, like I said, I played around with it quite a bit. This is my third video I'm making on it, and still, it's just, the way the physics of it work and the way all the interactions work is really kind of strange. And even just switching grenades switches the play style. So, all right, I'm going to let the damage section roll out now. You guys will see the different damage things. At the very end is where, if you guys just want to skip to that, hopefully I'll have the timestamps down below. But you guys will be able to see the max damage for both the Fragmentation Grenade, Bleed, and then the Incendiary Grenade, Burn, when we get the proper combo established. All right, agents, thanks so much for checking this out. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Hopefully I've earned your guys' subscription. Please help the channel by sharing the video. You guys are awesome. Be as safe as you need to be out there. I'll catch you, agents, in the dark zone. Peace out, everybody.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you so much for watching, agents. Hope you guys got something out of this. Do me a favor, smash that like button on the way out of here. Hopefully by now I've earned you guys subscription. Best thing you can do to help my channel is share this video. Guys, be as safe as you need to be out there. I will check you, agents, in the dark zone. Peace out, everybody.